Hi everyone, Hans Gruber here with Rhyme Signatures, the nerdiest music review this side of being an exceptional thief, Mr. Cowboy. And today we're going to be doing a review of the new RPWL album, Crime Scene. Sometimes a great band can come from the simplest of origins, and this rings especially true with Germany's RPWL. Named in the classic ABBA fashion of the first letters of the founding members' names, although in this case it's surnames, they found their first footing as a Pink Floyd cover band, and spent their early years spitting out classics from the British powerhouse. Around 3 years in, they decided to start making their own music, and in the year 2000 we were met with their debut album God Has Failed, and it was a solid, if somewhat unremarkable piece. I honestly haven't spent a great amount of time listening to their earlier works, but their third album, World Through My Eyes, still gets fairly regular rotation from me. But I first discovered the band in 2012 with their excellent record Beyond Man and Time, and I do feel that they have never really matched this one up until now. Wanted and Tales from Outer Space were both fine enough records, but they never really held my attention for more than a few casual listens after they came out. But here we are in 2023. It's been 4 years since Tales from Outer Space, and I remember being pleasantly surprised to see this new record, Crime Scene, surfacing among my recommendations. And I gotta say, this is probably equal to, if not in some ways better, than Beyond Man and Time, which was a big deal really, as I've been waiting for another killer from these guys for a while now. The record is nicely structured, accounting for 6 songs overall and a pleasantly sized 45 minutes of music, ranging from just over 4 minutes in length to just under 13 minutes in length. So, pretty standard progressive rock in that respect. Things kick off very nicely with Victim of Desire, with strong melodies, bold instrumentation, and the reliably listenable vocals of Yogi Lang. He really is one of the most underrated singers in modern prog for me. Never climbing the echelons of technical mastery, but his strength lies in just how easy to listen to he is. Every note is precise, every word sounds confident and self-assured, and it just makes for an overall extremely pleasant experience to listen to him. As expected, their Pink Floyd cover band roots are in full display as always, and Victim of Desire definitely sounds like it could be off a late-era David Gilmour-fronted album. But there's also a darkness to the music that gives me kind of a mid-2000s Porcupine Tree vibe. It's a great blending of the older generation of prog coupled with what we've come to expect from the newer sounds that have been kicking around for a while now, and it makes for a great introduction to the record. We follow up with the 3 shorter songs on the album of Red Rose, A Cold Spring Day in 22, and Life in a Cage, where the band let loose on their more accessible structures and compositions. These are much more straightforward songs than Victim of Desire and the following songs King of the World and Another Life Beyond Control, but they are no less engaging as a result. The band really has their finger on the pulse with these tracks as far as control over melody is concerned. There's a really great sense of flow to the music, giving off a laid-back and relaxing feeling to the overall sound of the record. There's a few hooks and catchy moments across the shorter tracks, but nothing that will really stick out especially strongly. But, honestly, that's kind of okay, as this obviously isn't that kind of poppy, chorus-driven music. But that being said, it would still have been nicer to have a few more memorable guitar riffs or vocal lines to hum along to, A Cold Spring Day in 22 reminds me a little bit of a Kevin Gilbert song crossed with some Steven Wilson solo work. The lyrics though, and I'll be honest, this kind of applies to the whole album really, are quite shocking when you take a moment to really hear them. This song, for example, is all about the Hinterkaifeck murders in Bavaria from 1922, and it kind of gives me that, Joey from Friends reaction meme to the song when, you take a minute to actually hear what I'm listening to. Now, okay, it's not enough to take me out of the music, as frankly, the music on this album is so good that I can look past the angular tonal dissonance between the sounds I'm hearing and the lyrics I'm reading. But that being said, I can't help but raise an eyebrow a little bit to the oil and water of the lyrics to the music at times. But hey, whatever, the clue's in the album name, I guess. I suppose I shouldn't be expecting songs about fluffy bunny rabbits or tiny baby birds or what have you. Life in a Cage is a great stripped-down song, allowing atmosphere and intrigue to carry itself across the runtime. Yogi Lang's vocals really are the star of the show here, and his distinctive, whiskey-smooth delivery really shines here as the band spend their energy creating an atmosphere underneath him. Some of the bass work really does make me think of Alana Miles' Black Velvet, given that it has this similar driving rhythmic groove that forms this fantastic bedrock for the rest of the song. It's definitely a favourite on the album for me, and one I always keep coming back to. But of course this is prog rock, so obviously, the longest song is the best one, obviously. And King of the World is a real treat from start to finish. The bass shines again, and special mention must be made to Markus Grutzner for his first outing with the band. He does a phenomenal job throughout the record, but never more so than on this song. His knowledge of flow and application of groove is outstanding, and he really has to be commended here. This song definitely applies itself to the classic RPWL template that we've come to know and love, and it certainly has all the right component ingredients for this to be considered a classic in the band's catalogue. I mean, no, it's not especially genre-defining or envelope-pushing, but it's still a delightful slice of modern progressive rock, serving up all the goods that we might have come to expect. Killer guitar solos that emphasise control and melody over technicality and showmanship, consistent and melodic bass grooves, complex drumming, atmospheric keyboards, and of course, Yogi's beautiful crooning vocals. It's kind of almost textbook, though, how well pulled off this song is, and I suppose you could argue that might be a little bit to its detriment. You could realistically levy this sort of criticism against the whole record, really. It's very safe. For a genre labelled as progressive rock, there's often very little true progression of sound. There are tropes and expectations that we have come to associate with the genre, and for all of Crime Scene's good points, this does ultimately fall into a somewhat predictable pattern for a progressive rock album released in 2023. I mean, that's obviously not necessarily a bad thing. This is a comforting record in many respects, lyrical content notwithstanding. It's safe, assured, and very well put together, but it won't really challenge you in any way. It's an immediate and easy record to enjoy on face value, but outside of shocked Pikachu facing at some of the lyrics, there's not a huge amount of depth or complexity on offer here. This isn't a record that you'll still be picking out musical nuggets from on your 20th listen, but what you will find on Crime Scenes is a record that's been put together by a band who clearly enjoy what they do, even if what they do is a little derivative in the long run. So, what else can I say about RPWL's Crime Scenes? I enjoyed my time with this album quite a lot. As someone who's been quite mid on the band's output since Beyond Man and Time, it's been really nice to listen to an RPWL record that's made me want to stick with it and look beyond the surface level for a change. No, this isn't the deepest record in the world, and it does stick close to the lines which it's comfortable colouring in, but sometimes you just want to grab a nicely structured album that's not over long, that doesn't require your utmost attention to understand, and can give you some genuinely great music on an immediate level, even if it's not likely to stay with you for months and months after your first listen. I have found myself spinning this one a lot lately, as it's honestly just so effortlessly easy to enjoy. And if you're happy to approach this album just as a fun prog rock record that adheres to exactly what you think it's going to, then you'll probably have a super fun time with this one. I would comfortably say I'd be happy to recommend that you buy this one digitally. It kind of lacks that edge that would push this into a physical purchase for me, but this is still a record that I've had a great time with, and I could just listen to those bass grooves all day long. This, guys, of course, is just my opinion, as you know, so if you have listened to Crime Scenes, please tell me what you thought about it in the comments down below. If there's anything else coming up this year that you think I should check out, you think I might have missed, please do let me know about it. I always love to hear new stuff. If you did like this video, please do share it around with anyone else who you think would enjoy it, and please do consider subscribing to the channel for some more content. As always, if you really like what I do, please also consider clicking the coffee link in the description down below to help support the channel. And until next time, guys, keep your rhyme signatures odd.